Hello and welcome to Nale Yoga, the podcast with Yoga Nidra journeys for deep rest and more. I'm Ruthie Eisenberg, and I'm so excited to welcome a very special guest to our show today. Today we're talking with Sulappagari Suman, just known as Suman for short, founder of the Aadyantha Academy and Yoga Studio in Bangalore, India. Suman is a very experienced yoga trainer and therapist with over 6 years of experience in yoga therapy, different healing techniques, pranayama, which is breath work, and Ayurveda. Suman is also a certified Yoga Nidra teacher, as well as a teacher of intuition training and chess to children. He is dedicated to promoting holistic well-being through traditional yoga practices and has successfully conducted yoga teacher trainings, wellness programs, retreats, and workshops all over the world. He's been internationally recognized for contributions to the yoga community. And on a personal level, Suman and I took courses from the same yoga teacher school, Biosphere, and are in the same yoga teacher community through that school, which is how we met. And he really has a wealth and breadth of wisdom, experience that's so versatile in anything and everything having to do with yoga. Thank you so much, Suman, for being here. And I'm so excited to be having this conversation with you because I feel like every time we talk, you just have so much amazing knowledge and experience to share. I always learn new techniques and new things from you. I feel like everybody needs to hear what you have to say. So welcome, Suman. And yeah, and why don't we get started with you sharing a little bit about how did you get into practicing yoga and then move from that into teaching yoga?
Yeah, yoga practice, it's basically it's a very interesting how I introduced to yoga. So I used to study in a very rural village. At the same time, my parents are very much spiritually connected. So that from my childhood, I used to do a few yoga practices and meditation practices, but I'm not aware of it. It is like how to do professionally, but with the in India, in each village, you have spiritual connections and spiritual practices. I used to practice a few of asanas, and unknowingly, I used to practice a Vajrasana whenever I'm having my back pain, whenever I'm having a headache. I used to go for a Shashankasana to relax myself. So like this, I used to practice the asanas as well as meditations, but I don't know these are the things that comes from the yoga. Okay. Then later, when I come to my higher education, I used to come to town because it's a very rural village. So when I comes to the town, there I met one of my friend. So he used to practice yoga regularly. So I got inspired with him. Then I thought, why can't I practice with him regularly so that I can, that is my interest. So along with that, I got a chance to learn that. So I started learning yoga when I am 12 years or 13 years when I am. Okay. I don't have any intention that I can be a yoga teacher and like that, but I love to do yoga. So I practice there every morning, morning 6 to 7. If I am not mornings, if I am busy with morning, then I used to practice in the evening 5 to 6 at the time. It helped me a lot. After that, I have I gained my weight because of hormonal imbalance in my teenage. Then with yoga, it helps me to come out of that overweight at the same time that emotional changes and the mood swings and all, and my teenage. Then I came to my higher education where my degree and post graduation thing. So here I accidentally my tenant, my owner, um, he's running a yoga institute. Okay, so with that, I used to practice yoga in the morning 6 to 7. After 1 year, he saw the interest in me. Then he gave me a chance to handle the session where I am attending. Morning 6 to 7, I used to attend the yoga session. So that at the same time, I used to teach. After 1 year, I started teaching that session 6 to 7. I did my master's in MSc in mathematics, but there is a one extracurricular subject. You can choose the biotechnology or life science or yoga or anything, whatever we want. Obviously, I took yoga. So after that, that teacher is very friendly. So he told, why can't you do yoga teacher training course so that you're already a teaching without any certification with your knowledge. If you did a teacher training course, that will be a certified thing so that you can teach as a profession. You can make that as a profession. From 2018, I completed my teacher training course. Then from that time, I started my own yoga studio, and I'm teaching from that time. I'm teaching from 2016, but professionally with a certification and all, I started teaching from 2018. After that, I did many yoga courses with many teachers. Still, I am learning and I am teaching.
Wow.
Yeah.
What an amazing story of how you
Yeah.
evolved in your yoga. And it sounds like, the universe just kind of like drew you from student to teacher in a very natural transition. That's
Definitely.
amazing.
It's completely unexpected
Hmm.
that I want to be a yoga professional, but I love yoga from my childhood.
Hmm.
But being a yoga teacher is completely unexpected.
You didn't plan on it when you were a kid.
Yeah.
Did you know what you wanted to be when you were a kid?
When I'm in childhood, I have a strong feeling that in India there are many yoga, spiritual practices. I want to know the evidence. I want to know the why they are practicing all these things. Why we have to do puja? What is the reason behind it? While doing puja, also we have to do fasting. Why we have to do fasting? And there are many spiritual practices we follow in our Indian culture. But if you ask my parents, they say, just you practice. Okay, don't
Hmm.
ask me anything, just you practice.
Mm.
Okay, then from that childhood, I have a curiosity that I want to know the reasons. That's the
Yeah.
reason from childhood I have that urge. So I started, searching about those things. Maybe that is also one of the reason to connect be a yoga teacher. Along with that, I'm from childhood I am more interested in science.
Yeah,
Okay, I want to do research in science. So now I'm doing research in yoga. Yoga is also one of the science. So
it
obviously
is.
it is like
Yes.
either way connected.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit about your thoughts on yoga. It's a science, it's also a way of life, it's a spiritual practice. Yoga is so many different facets to it. So tell me a little bit about like how do you see the interactivity of yoga as a science and yoga as a lifestyle, as a
Mhm.
spiritual
Yeah.
practice?
Yeah.
As an
For this,
emotional healing, as a therapy healing.
yeah. So for this, I always says with my students, uh, in Ashtanga Yoga itself, they're saying there are Ashtanga Yogas. Okay, 8 different limbs we can say are parts. In that, there are 8 things. First, I will say that what are the 8 things. Then I will keep on explaining one by one how it is connect. By that, you will get to know how it is connected with life thing and all. Uh, First thing is yama, then niyama, asana, pranayama, pratyahara, dharana, dhyana, samadhi. When it comes to the first one is yama. In yama, it indicates a social discipline. Okay, as a person, if you born in this society, So the first important thing is you should know how to live with a society. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Because when you born immediately, people decide you want to be like this, or you are the son of this person, you are the a grandson of this person, and you have to what we say, you have to address yourself with a society.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so first, that's the reason made Patanjali gave that first preference to the society. So in Yama, we learn how to be with the society. That is also one of the very important thing. After when you know how to be with a society, then inwards journey will start. The next, you should learn how to be with yourself. That you will learn with the niyama aspects. When I say yourself, not only the body, it's with your surroundings, how to be with your surroundings, how to be with your habits, how to be with your emotions. All these things comes together. It's body, breath, everything together. Then it's called as niyama. It teaches. In niyama, we have the five niyama panchakas: saucha, santosha, tapas, swadhyaya, ishvara pranidhana. So here, saucha, how to clean yourself. That talks. Santosha, how to be happy. Okay. Then Swadhyaya, how to, you should understand yourself, what you like, what you don't like. Okay. It's about knowing in depth of yourself. That is called as Swadhyaya. Okay. Ishvara Pranidhana. And whatever you achieve, you should be surrendered to your that higher one. It may be your teacher, it may be your God, it may be anyone in your life, but you should surrender. You should not have a ego that I am great, I know everything. So you know everything, but still you should have that gratitude that is with God or the teacher. Okay, that is this niyama panchakas. And one more thing is tapas. Here, how you have to dedicate yourself, how you have to work on yourself. That teaches a tapas. Okay, these are the comes under the Niyama Panchakas. So in the first one, we learned how to be with a society. Then second one, how to be with yourself. Then Patanjali didn't stop there. He's going even more deeper. Okay, so that is called as asana. It is more famous in yoga word,
Mm-hmm.
asana. Okay, so that asana teaches. It's not just building the body. It teaches how to be with your body. It teaches, first one teaches how to be with a society. Second one teaches how to be with yourself, complete what you are. Then third one, it's even more going deeper, how to be with your self. Means how to be with your body, physical body. We say Annamaya Koshan. Again, Patanjali goes even more deeper. Okay, then he says how to be with your breath. That we call it as pranayama. You know, again, it's a huge science. Yeah, if you want to talk about one aspect, it takes hours together. Okay, I'm giving you a brief introduction. So how to be with your breath, that teaches the pranayama. Then pratyahara, it about how to be with your sensory organs. Okay, we are always connected with the sensory organs. That leads to distraction, that leads to trouble. So, Pratyahara teaches how to be with your sensory organs. So, that is the fifth one. So, Patanjali, these five makes it as a Bahiranga yoga that you can practice outside with the world, outside world. Next, remaining three are that more personal and that goes even more deeper level of yourself. So that sixth one is dharana. Dharana is more focused, more disciplined and focused towards your goal, whatever it is. It may be your spiritual sadhana, it may be self, it may be that in Indian say we say moksha, okay, connecting with a higher soul. So that is also it is more focused towards it. That's dharana. When it comes to next level, here there is no focus at all. You're connected to that sadhana. You're completely involved in that sadhana. That is, we call it as dhyana. We English words we say meditation. There is no particular focus. If you are focusing, that is not a dhyana. Okay. If
Mm-hmm.
you are not at all focused, you are involved in it, then that is dhyana. If all these things happen, you will be in the state where the samadhi, always happiest state. Nobody will disturb you, nobody will distract you. You will be in the state where complete happiness, no physical problems, mental problems, no other problems will make you away from that your consciousness. So in samadhi, you will be in the complete aware of your consciousness. At the same time, you will be completely happy. See, all these things talks about how to lead your life happy. Okay, that ultimate goal of yoga is to be happy and contentment. And that is the goal of yoga. It's not about any particular religion or not particular person or not particular gender, nothing. It's about making a person completely happy, okay, and with complete awareness. This is what the goal of yoga. So I love to be follow this path.
Wow. Beautiful.
Hmm.
Wow. Okay, you just shared so much. I feel like we can go in so many directions here. Let's just back up a little bit. To the beginning. I love how you're talking about the Patanjali's Yoga Sutras as a way of really organizing the way that we can think about yoga and experience it in such a well-rounded way that really includes all the aspects of our life, starting from the most external world, our environment, how we relate in the society with others, and going through these layers to the innermost, internal, deepest parts of ourselves and our soul. What a beautiful system to organize the human experience.
Definitely.
Um,
Okay. If it comes
yeah.
to Patanjali,
Mhm,
he not about, in yoga, in Indian sciences, especially
mhm,
we say in spiritual science or Sanatana Dharma, we say in Indian culture. So here we not never give importance for any particular religion or
mhm,
particular person or particular gender. So that complete the Sanatana Dharma, it's focused only on evaluating your consciousness. Okay,
mhm,
all spiritual sciences are especially this yoga. It's more about being above your mind, not working with your mind. You should be above the mind level.
mhm.
It's all practices for that.
Yes, yes. And the purpose of that is, like you said, to be happy and also to show up as present in our daily life and kind of circle back to these eight limbs. They kind of go in a circle. We circle back to why is this important so that we can also show up as our best selves in the society as well.
Yeah,
Um, Let me ask you, so while we're on the topic, let me ask you a little bit about, you're saying that yoga, it's universal, it's not limited to any like one religion or gender or culture. And that's one of the things I just love about yoga is that it's so accessible and it's so adaptable to different cultures. I know that I'm coming from the Jewish tradition, as you know, and in my culture, sometimes there's a little bit of confusion about yoga. Um, we're coming from a monotheistic tradition, and my understanding is that Hinduism, it's also there's a belief in one ultimate God. It's all at its root, it's monotheistic, and I think this is something that gets lost sometimes, and people get kind of confused, and uh, so I'm just curious if you could speak to that a little bit, and um,
yeah,
yeah.
I got it. So that what makes it, so our Indian culture, mainly from the beginning, from where Vedas period, and from that period,
Mhm,
no one said that you have to pray this card or that card or like this. So after this transitions of ages and person to person, that knowledge, then they're giving the particular name or particular religion or that thing that goes to the another level. But here, all the sages and everybody is saying in Hindu culture itself, we say in India strongly believe there is only one God, but we give different names to it.
mhm,
Okay, different names because what he worked on that farm. So we are giving the name to it. So if you are taking one particular god and like we are doing puja and doing praying him because of that qualities. Like
Mhm.
if you want to say in simple words, Ruthie she's a woman,
Mhm.
okay? But if as a woman, some people praise her. At the same time, she's a wife. With a
Mhm.
wife quality, some people praise her. She's a mother. With a,
Mhm.
some that mother qualities, some people likes her. Some
Mhm.
she's a yoga teacher. With that
Mhm.
that quality, some people likes her. At the same time, she's a psychologist. With that quality, some people likes her.
Mhm.
So finally, she's a woman and she's just one person. That's it.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
we are seeing her in a five different roles with a five different names. Okay,
Mhm.
so some unknown person, she don't know, he don't know your name, then he called as a woman.
Mhm.
Okay, then as a wife, your husband called with one pit name. So that is the way he see you in that direction,
Mhm.
and your kids is see you as a mother, not as
Mhm.
some other forms. The way your husband see you, the way the
Mhm.
outer person see you, so you're completely different for that person.
Mhm.
Okay, the same way yoga practitioner will see you as a teacher. They don't see as these three things.
Mhm.
So person is the same, but that experiences individually they will get is a different. What
Mhm.
they like, they will approach that way. If I want to like as your mother, then I will approach you as a mother. If I
Mhm.
like you as a teacher, then I'll approach you. Oh, I like your qualities as a teacher, so I
Mhm.
will start praising you. I've started following you as a yoga teacher. What you follow the path, no, I will follow that path. The same way it is yoga, this spirituality in India is going. Okay, then it comes to if it is not, we should not see as I explained already. There are eight different limbs are talking only about your personality. Is not about your. There is nothing about the spirituality as religion thing here.
Mhm.
Okay, it's all about working with individual body. At the same time, in India, we say yogic science is body science.
Mhm.
Okay, it's about body, physical, mental, all the levels of body. How to evolve from this body consciousness to higher consciousness. It's
Mhm.
only talk about that.
Mhm.
Then, when it comes to the names of the asanas, that asanas we should not see in terms of that just the name. We have to go that what scientifically you will get the benefit. If you're eating if you're eating a food in India, we say rice, and in your language you say something that word. Here word is not important. That
Mhm.
food what giving you a result is important.
Mhm.
So asana's benefit is important, or that name is important for you.
Mhm.
Okay,
Yes.
that itself is not giving you any results.
Yes.
Okay, that name, because many teachers or many person practiced and that gave you to the world. So we are putting that name and we are practicing. That's it. Okay,
Mhm.
we should have the gratitude to chant that name because he knows something and he gave that knowledge to the next generation to get the benefit. So with that
Mhm.
gratitude, we put it that name as the to that asana, that posture, that object. That's it.
Mhm.
Okay,
Yeah.
there is nothing connected with any particular religion or particular thing.
Mhm.
It's completely to evolve the human consciousness. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
Thank you for
I think I'm
explaining all
talking.
that. Okay, let's talk a little bit about the science of yoga. You spoke earlier about having this curiosity of what actually happens on a scientific level to the body when we do these postures or these practices. So, can you speak a little bit to the science of yoga?
Yeah. So when it comes to science of yoga, this is not different form of yoga, Rute. So yoga is the same wherever you go, whatever you practice.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. There is no, but we give different forms again. Okay. Especially when it comes to now in India, there are Iyengar practice and Hatha yoga and Ashtanga yoga, Ashtanga Vinyasa yoga, power yoga, heart yoga. There are different names. But initially, it comes only one form. It called as Hatha Yoga. That is that knowledge given directly came from the family called as Shiva families, Nath family. We say are directly taken from the Adi Yogi. Okay. After that, Hatha Yoga practices that comes to again different teachers. Okay, different kinds of teachers started learning. So I learned some form of yoga. I like to, with my experience, I am giving you some different taste, a different form. Okay. If you want to say clearly, in India, uh, that's we call it as Krishnamacharya. We call it as modern father of yoga. Okay. And he's also he's came from the Nath tradition. Okay, one form of culture. Okay, Hatha Yoga is it come from the Nath tradition only. Okay, Natha Muni tradition, and now Krishnamacharya, what he did, he is yoga is not about a group practice. It's always personal practice. Okay, Krishnamacharya strongly believes that. So he started teaching yoga to personally for each individual. Okay, in that mainly he have four students to name it. Okay, so one is her name is Devi Lakshmi. I'm not wrong. Okay, okay. She personally came to India and started learning with Krishnamacharya at 1880s. Okay, I'm not particular about the year, which year she came to India. Okay. She started learning, and Krishnamacharya started teaching only women related things. What type of practices women should practice in yoga. Okay. Like personally, what like women's what type of problems they will face, women's what type of emotional problems they will face, physical problems what they will face, and depends on what type of works women's will do. Okay, for that what type of strength they needed. Related all these things, Krishnamacharya started teaching to that lady. Okay, so she, with her experience, with that teaching, she specialized in that form. So we call it as women yoga. Okay, then again that it transformed to one more person, Krishnamacharya's wife's brother. His name is BKS Iyengar. Okay? BKS Iyengar. That person have a little bit physical issues as well as the mental issues, like some physical problems in his body. So Krishnamacharya used to teach one form of yoga that is called as therapeutic, using the props and the bricks used to practice yoga. With that, used to get more health benefits and asana perfection, alignment of the body used to get it. So that form is transformed into Iyengar form of yoga. Then the third thing, one more that boy, he came and started learning with Krishnamacharya. He's called as Desikachar. He's a young boy, that 12 years old. Uh, Krishnamacharya is little bit adult, so he needs therapeutic aspect. But this boy, he don't want more therapeutic and that kind of thing. He needs to enjoy the form of yoga. He needs more enjoyable. Like you can see that kids are more active, more jumping, more more doing flexible bending that side, this side, doing that form, this form, all these things. So all these things he needs that type of yoga needs for the young kids and the adults, especially for the young kids, teenagers and the kids. That form of yoga is called as Vinyasa yoga. In Vinyasa yoga, there will be more fast movements will be there. That helps to improve energy in your, that higher energy which will be there. They're more active kids. That helps to maintain that energy. At the same time, that helps to build the strength in the kids. Okay, so yoga is the same. Okay, Krishnamacharya didn't learn all these forms of yoga. He learned one form of yoga, then he specially started teaching one particular category. So for the women, they started women form of yoga. For the kids, they started vinyasa. For the therapy purpose, they started teaching Iyengar style yoga. Then after a few days or few centuries, people need more for the weight loss, more for the looks, young, more form strength and all. Then they converted the same form of yoga with a mix of these two. They created the power yoga.
Mhm.
Then after power yoga, then again few people interested, they closed the doors with a closed surface, closed environment. They started teaching yoga. That's become heart yoga.
Mm.
Okay, that yoga is the same, but depends on their needs. What their needs are there to fulfill that, they started their own way of practice. That's become more popular. When it's become more popular, that is one form of yoga. Now it comes to the science of yoga. Okay, so what's happening in many religious things, they neglected yoga just because that is religious thing. Okay, here our science of yoga, what we aim or our vision is, we have to start giving scientific evidence to it. So when it comes to the science of yoga, so the science of yoga is first introduced by my teacher, Dr. Rashekar Reddy. Uh, he's basically a neurosurgeon. He did his master's in USA. Later, he came back to India and he started practicing his medical practice in Bangalore, India. Later, he got more interest in doing research. Then he started loving yoga. It's both together. Uh, he did first research on diabetes in 1980s. At that time in India, there is only 1% diabetic people were there. Okay.
Yeah.
Then many people opposed him. There is no use of doing this research on these people and all. Now it's become more than 30 to 40% people are suffering from diabetes in India
Yes.
in just 40 to 50 years. And with that research, he introduced called as HbA1c. You may check that HbA1c, what we say, that standard, it comes with his research. Okay.
Mhm.
Then later that with his curiosity, he did more than 19 researches on yoga and medical science.
Mhm.
Along with that, many doctors in the world, they started working on this research with asana and the pranayama and kriyas in yogic sciences, what they gave the practices, that practices what impacts gives on human system, that they
Mhm.
started researching. After that, with that all this knowledge he collected, one doctor did, one neuro doctor, otherwise one physician, or some doctors individually they did research. But my doctor, Dr. Rashekar Reddy, he
Mhm.
collected all those research papers.
Mhm.
Okay, he collected all those research papers and he started reading, and again like how Patanjali did, there are different forms of thing. Then he collected and give one form of yoga. Okay, this is what like this. The same way, Dr. Rashekar Reddy, he collected all those research papers from all over the world. Then he made it one particular syllabus.
Mhm.
Here, he started explaining, especially if you want to say few myths are there in Indian in yoga. Okay, that myths that's not given from the text. That of because of one teacher to one teacher conversation, one person to person conversation without any proper knowledge, that misleaded. How, what type of things misleaded? We say Surya and Chandra. Right side our Surya is there, left side is Chandra. Otherwise,
Mhm.
Ida Pingal.
Right.
So we say if you practice right side inhale, exhale, our body temperature will increase in
Mhm.
yoga shastra. In yoga, in the present generation, people are saying. But
Mhm.
according to science, if it is 1% of heat increases in your system, that leads to big damage in your system. Okay.
Mhm.
At the same time, Chandra, if you do 1% a cool, temperatures drops down with a left inhale and exhale. If temperature drops down, that leads to a death.
Okay.
Okay. So then what happens? Then yoga is wrong? No, yoga is 100% right. But the way started explaining after later, when it is written by Patanjali, that is right. Okay, when that is written by uh, later Krishnamacharya, that is right. But teacher to teacher, it is transporting. I said something to Ruthie. Ruthie understands in one way, then she will explain in another way. So
Mm-hmm.
another person will come to that prospect, then he will understand what the Ruthie said, then he will understand in different, then he will start explaining in his own way.
Mm-hmm.
So after that 4 to 5 generations, what happens? So I said something. By end of that fifth generation, the topic is the same, but the way they explained it, the way they took it, that becomes completely different.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So in maybe in that century, that 5,000 years back, that they don't know the terminologies what we are using. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So they kept it the symptoms that what behave sun is there in our body, what symptoms that comes, they kept it. What moon do, that they kept it the name. But we have to understand in the present world condition what we have to call, how it
Mm-hmm.
works with the Indian science, means
Mm-hmm.
body science. So
Mm-hmm.
that terminology he started giving. That Surya
Mm-hmm.
is right. What happens in our body, that he started explaining with science of yoga. With Chandra, that quality is what it is explaining with scientifically in our body. So he
Mm-hmm.
started explaining. When it comes to the chakras, we say 7 chakras that we can't see. But still, science, it's way advanced now. So we can see which position it is, okay, in our body, which particular part the chakras are there, that in the chakras what exactly it's happening in our system.
How
Okay,
do we
all
see
these
that? How do we see
so
that with
chakras,
the
yeah,
science of yoga? Like what,
science
like, yeah,
correct.
like what methods do they have to know, to be able to see where the chakras are, how they're spinning, what their position is?
Okay, when it comes to this topic, uh, chakras, what we feel is when we say chakras, it means it's about circle, okay, it will move like that, we understand. But according to our science, okay, chakras, there is no that wheeling, tinkling is not there. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
but there is a something that where more all your channels are connected. Okay, all your nervous systems, many nerves are connected on that part. So that energy gives you in different form. So there will be a different symbols are there, not exactly what we are see that wheel shape. It is not there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I told you, no, nowhere they mentioned this should be like this in the ancient text. Recently they started like 100 years, 200 years before back they started writing like this type of is there, this type of is there, to make them understand.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so like if is a first standard student comes, I can't explain the science. This like this is what the science, this is what the nerves it is. I can't explain all those things. To make him understand that first standard student, I'm making go to that is like a wheel structure. It will be there. So we are going to means the teacher started explaining like that. So that first standard student, what they understand, oh, this is what chakra. Then he started teaching in his own way.
Mm-hmm.
So it becomes what we say that diluted and it becomes like that. That science
Yes,
is that
yes,
yogic science is the same,
yeah.
but the explanations which becomes wrong and the what we interpretations becomes wrong.
Yeah, that's right. It's like we
Okay.
have like the symbol for drawing a heart is like this, you
Huh.
know, and
Yes.
that's not
Yeah,
how an
it's very
actual
easy.
anatomical heart
Correct.
looks.
Correct.
So when you're talking about the chakras and the symbols that are used to represent them, uh, it makes me think of like we have these little, uh, very stylized, very simplified images, but they're just symbols. They're not necessarily the anatomically correct representations how these of how these energies appear in the body. And what you're saying about like, oh, this is where there's more nerve ending connections, um, that makes a lot of sense to me, that there would be more of an energetic force in those areas.
Definitely. The energetic force are everywhere is there in all the nerves,
Yeah,
and you can see that different chakras have different colors physically also.
yeah.
Okay, in your part in your body there are different 36 different colors are there. Not in body, in your brain. Okay, in your brain, 36 different colors. With each
Oh,
emotion, that color will change. Okay, with each feeling, that colors will change. Okay.
that's so
No, recently my teacher,
interesting.
yeah, recently my
Yeah.
teacher was telling, when you get angry, or no, when you get ego, okay, that your gray color converts into black.
Hmm. How do you experience that? Like when I have different emotions, like if I'm happy or sad, or I don't really see a specific color. So how do you, when you say there's a color associated with different emotions, um, can you
No,
help me? And
sorry, I have to correct. Here, it's not connected with that. Okay,
hmm
in your brain, there are 36 different colors already there. Okay, that chemical changes. Okay, you are completely filled with the chemicals.
hmm
Okay, this body is completely with the chemicals. Each chemical has its own color.
I see.
Okay,
Okay.
but by if you dissection, you can see inside. It's not only a red color. Okay, there are different colors are there in your body. In your brain
hmm
itself, might it's not that accurate maybe. Okay, minimum 36 different colors are there. There are lots of different colors. Mainly, there are 36 different colors are there.
I see. I
Okay,
see.
in that 36 different colors, if your emotion change, that emotional related chemical changes will replace. Already that colors are there. There is a water, just 1 point of milk that converts completely that water into a different color.
Yes.
The same way, one emotion that changes that chemical, normal gray chemical to the black. That chemical changes happens in our brain.
Got it. Got it.
The same way, different emotions impacts on that chemical change. What that chemical change occurs in our brain, that changes the different color.
Got it. Got it. So the colors change based on the chemical reactions.
What
And
happens in our system?
got it. Got it. So they're literally
Yeah,
in our brain. It's not so much our
yeah.
perception. Got it.
Uh,
Thanks for
uh,
clarifying that.
uh.
Um,
So when
I,
it comes to the color yoga, sorry, color therapies and all,
mhm.
so what type of color that changes, you will attract that type of changer, that type of colors.
Wow,
So in
that's
that way, that therapy helps.
yeah, that's so interesting. Yoga is just such a diverse and such a deep and
Yeah.
wide system. There's literally techniques for everything. I know you taught me how to do the Jalatrataka, and
Yeah.
I've been practicing that, which is a very clearing technique that involves using a bowl of water to clear your eyes, clear your brain, clear your perception. It feels so amazing. Um, and there's hundreds and thousands of different techniques out there. So I was wondering if we could shift to chatting about Yoga Nidra and how some of these techniques can enhance the Yoga Nidra practice.
Okay. Okay. In India, we give more importance in whatever practices you do, that practice to improve your consciousness.
Mhm,
Okay, we give more importance for your mind and above the mind, not for the
mhm,
mind. We give more importance. You have to go beyond the mind.
mhm, mhm,
Okay, that for that our practices are there. Whatever we practice, that practice is meant to for that. Okay, then it comes to the yoga nidra. Again, in India, there are different schools are there. In one of the school that we follow, we say Bihar School of Yoga.
mhm,
Okay, in that, in our Indian culture, that Guru Parampara will flow. So one Guru will teach, and other people will stay with him, and they will learn. In the same time, in Bihar School of Yoga, Swami Satyananda Saraswati
mhm,
joined at the age of 4 because
mhm,
their parents they can't take care of the kids, so he dropped to that ashram. So ashrama is there where any people then come and they can stay, they can learn, they can have food, and they can lead their life. Parents they don't have money, they can't take care of their childrens. They will take them, they will drop it in that ashram, they will
mhm,
go. So that
mhm,
ashram will take care of that kid, food, that kid education, that kid all the things, clothes, everything. So Shivananda Saraswati joined at the age of 4. Then he start sleeping in, he's staying there. In that ashram, people are learning Vedas, Upanishads, and all the sciences and all those things practices. He's a kid, so he used to sleep for the long hours. But still, after few years, like 1 year or 2 years practice, used to chant all the slokas, all those things. Then the teacher came and asked, "How you know all those things? Okay, you are used to sleep more, no? You are a kid, used to sleep. We didn't teach you anything. Then how you know all these things?" Then he started in the sleep. I used to listen all those things. So his body is in rest, but his mind is completely aware. Okay, in that awareness state, whatever you give instructions to your mind, that will store for longer time. So we say modern Shivananda Saraswati is the modern father of Yoga Nidra, especially for Yoga Nidra. That tradition started from that time. So now that Yoga Nidra, we used to will make your body rest, but your mind working with double. Your mind works more than 2 times, 3 times its power, but your body will be in the rest position. That helps to improve your complete mental ability and at the same time at that stage your body will go to the state of healing. Okay, that 1 hour or 2 hour what you do yoga nidra, so that is a sufficient time for your body to heal. Usually we sleep according to science also proven that people don't need 8 hours of sleep. Okay, they need just 20 to 30 minutes of quality of sleep. That's it. That we can achieve through yoga nidra just within 1 hour of practice. So if you do just 1 hour of yoga nidra, you will be completely fresh. You need not to do 8 hours of sleep. So that's the way in many people, the yogis, they just do 1 hour of yoga nidra, remaining time they will be busy with their yoga practice.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. So how is
Yeah.
this possible? It is completely possible with Yoga Nidra. Yoga Nidra is a basic practice
Yes.
to make your body light
Yes.
and take the charge of your complete internal. We say in the soul, or if you say other form of energy, will take the charge. So in Indian science, we say so soul travel leaves that body for a particular time, then that will go and that will do all that work and it will come back and again that body will start.
Oh, like an
So all those
astral
things,
travel?
correct, astral traveling, correct. Okay, so yoga nidra is a basic practice to master that astral travel. All these special powers you can attain with the yoga practice. You may know that intuition yoga, telekinesis, all these things you can achieve with yoga practice, proper yoga practice with a proper guidance.
Yeah.
Okay, there are 8 different special powers. You can build your energy like a mountain with yoga practice. At the same time, you can make your energy like a tiny object and you can travel with a light speed. At the
Wow.
same time, you can dissolve your body and you can just work with your energy. Okay. In India, there is a guru called Baba. Okay. Mahavatar Babaji. He left his body, but he's with energy body is surviving from last 2000 years, not 1 year. But whenever he needs the physical body, he can, with that energy form, he can create his own physical body. That all those things possible with yoga. Okay, for all those things, yoga nidra is a basic practice, like ABCD, how we learn in the language. The same way, yoga nidra helps to attain all those things.
Yeah.
This is the yoga nidra brief. Yeah.
Yes, yes, yes. And I remember reading in the book that he also says that Yoga Nidra, you have to be in this window between not too little consciousness and not too much consciousness. So if you're already doing you're getting into like a very heavily altered state of consciousness, then you're going beyond that window of Yoga Nidra. That Yoga Nidra is really staying in that threshold between wakefulness and sleep, but you're not crossing over you're not really crossing over into one domain or the other too like too much, you know?
Yeah, and that's
Yeah.
true.
So
Hmm.
yeah, so that's interesting. Um yeah, wow. Okay. I know our meeting is gonna be over again in 10 minutes, so I guess we've been talking for a really long time. And
I
it feels
just,
like such a
I'm
short time.
Yeah, my friends always says, okay, if I'm start talking about yoga, I can talk hours together and days together
I
because
know.
it's a huge subject. It's a
I
huge subject.
know. Yes.
Still now we talked more than 1.5 hours, but still we didn't even cover one particular part. Okay, my teacher says always in science of yoga, he did many researchers, many people
Yeah.
did research, but he says we didn't even cover 0.1% of yoga.
Yes, to
Okay,
drop in a
yoga
bucket.
is a huge subject. Yoga is a huge subject.
Yes.
Okay, where again he says with his experience, 50 to 60 years of 40 years of medical experience as a neurosurgeon, he says all the medical streams in the world you have 286 different medical streams you have. Okay, but with only with yoga you can cover all those things 283, not remaining three. Okay, why not you can't cover with yoga? Because emergencies you can't do anything with yoga.
Hmm.
Okay, with the emergencies you need medical guidance. At the same time pediatric things, because kids can't do anything, kid can't do anything, so we can't do anything with yoga. At the same time, one is internal damages, emergencies. Okay,
Yeah.
emergency as and surgeries. If you want to do surgeries, those things you can't do anything with yoga except these three. You name it, everything you can cure with yoga. As a therapy also you can use. Okay, is not only for a physical, for the mental, higher consciousness, anything you take it, we can cover all those things with a yoga practice. So yoga
Yeah.
is always special, and it's not connected with any particular religion. It's a body science. Who are having a body, they can use the yoga practice to go beyond the body and beyond the mind.
Yes, and isn't that unconscious realm where the healing really happens?
Yeah.
Yeah. If there's one thing that would be super helpful for people to know and maybe take away and be able to practice, does anything come to mind for you?
Yeah.
Like if somebody's
So
like, I don't even know where to start. I've never done yoga, or I do yoga sometimes. I watch videos, but I don't really know what I'm doing. What advice would you give them? What would be like one thing or one skill that they might benefit from
so
practicing?
yeah, one simple practice. No, in a present condition, people are more emotionally imbalanced and
Hmm.
more
I know.
problems are psychosomatic problems.
Hmm.
Okay.
I see that
So
all the
for
time.
all the things, for all those things, breath is a very good answer.
Hmm.
Okay. So you need not to do holding. If you don't know anything, that's completely fine. So in yoga, we practice anuloma viloma.
Hmm.
Okay. Anuloma, that words means inhaling, viloma means exhaling. So everybody do inhale and exhale every time. But if close your eyes with a complete awareness, with a complete consciousness about your breath, if you do, your breath becomes deeper. Just you close your eyes and just absorb your breath in, breath out. Automatically, your breath becomes deeper. Okay, automatically, you need not to do anything.
Hmm.
Okay, just close your eyes. Your everybody will do breathe in, breathe out. Okay, without that you can't survive. Just what you have to do, just close your eyes and absorb your breathe in and breathe out. Whatever that breathe in, breathe out you're doing, just absorb. Automatically, you can notice that your breathe in and breathe out both are becoming deeper.
Noticing that happening now as you were talking, I had my eyes closed and I was observing my breathing, and yeah, the exhales get longer, the inhales get deeper, and It's
Mm.
amazing how something that's so simple, that doesn't
Main,
require much specialized techniques, can be such a
especially
good
for that,
starting point.
especially this breathing helps them to
Hmm.
calm,
Yeah.
relax. Okay, that reduces their stress levels,
Hmm.
their anxiety levels. Okay, so this is a very simple practice. At the same time, if this practice by the kids, that helps to reduce their hyperactivity as well. Okay,
Yes,
there are
that
many
is.
activities, but just with this simple one, at the same time, it improves your quality of sleep. If you going before you sleep, if you practice, when you have a sleeping issues, for them, it improves quality of sleep. Okay, when you have the stress issues, anxiety issues, if they just this practice for few minutes, automatically that helps to reduce their stress and anxiety issues. Like
Mhm.
this, just one this awareness with about your breath can bring you lot more changes in your life. Okay, like this there are thousands of techniques are there, okay, in yoga. With proper guidance, with a proper teacher, you can achieve the you can achieve the best lifestyle in your you can achieve the best lifestyle, you can reach to the best lifestyle in your life. Yeah.
Yes, beautiful, beautiful. Yes, and the breathing, the mindful breathing, it's also part of the Yoga Nidra practice. There's
Yeah.
several junctures in a classical Yoga Nidra practice where you are invited to just focus on the natural ebbs and flows of your breath. And it does. It really helps to relax the physiology and relax the body. Then the mind can relax, then the soul can relax also. It's a beautiful, it's very simple practice. Um, I was going to also ask you about some of your personal yoga practices and perhaps yoga nidra practices that you'd be open to sharing about.
Yeah, when it comes to practice, here we can there are personal practices is completely especially in India we say it is depends on each individual. My personal practice is not as what I am getting the results not same as to you. Okay, so here we in the Guru Parampara we take Diksha. Diksha means Guru is practicing something, so he will give that knowledge to that particular student. Then, with that knowledge, they have to do everyday sadhana. Okay, so while chanting Guru, they can give you a different form of Diksha. So, in the form of mantra, also, we'll get one mantra with that chanting that mantra you are doing meditation is also one of the sadhana. So, again, where I am learning the therapies and science of yoga, especially in science of yoga. Here, my teacher taught me few exercises. You know, we practice the same asanas. Okay, there is no nothing different in Sarvangasana, nothing different in Padahastasana. But before going to that asana, how we have to strengthen that connected muscles that I will practice every day. That one I will choose one asana and connect it to that muscles and the tendons which is connected, so I will work on that tendons and that muscles so that I will strengthen first, then I will go to the asana practice. At the same time, when I practice asana, I don't practice the pranayama. Okay, once you practice the pranayama, that effect it will be there till 42 hours. It's proven by science. Okay, once you practice pranayama, you need not to practice for next 42 hours. But
Oh,
if you
wow.
practice effectively and proper way, so if you practice pranayama in an effective way, next 42 hours you need not to practice any pranayama again,
Oh,
because that
pranayama.
pranayama, that energy effects that it will be
Got
there
it.
like that.
So pranayama is only, you only need to do it once every 42 hours, but I mean, obviously it's okay to do it
The
more
same
than
way,
that, at
same
least.
asanas also.
Got
Okay,
it.
and if you practice the kriyas, you need not to practice one more than 7 days. That kriyas impacts on your body more than 7 days. Once you practice the kriya, if you're a healthy person, you need not to practice again for that next 7 days,
Got
because
it.
that
Got
7 days
it.
impact that it will be there in your body. The same
Okay.
way, nearly asana, once you practice that one muscle, that it will be there impact on that muscle for 36 hours.
Got it. So in this way, you can
That is
have a
the
schedule to rotate your practices, and this way you
correct.
have time to do a variety of practices, and it doesn't have to
Correct.
take up 24 hours in a day.
Yeah.
Got it.
So this is the thing. Then when it comes to what actually I offer is I offer all our ancient sciences, especially like intuition yoga. Now intuition yoga where kids can practice, or they can do all the activities with a blindfold. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so whatever you name it, they will read, they will write, they will play chess, they will solve the puzzles. You name it, they will do with a blindfold. At the same time, that intuition yoga helps in academics as well. I've seen many students, their academics, their studies, their focus levels increased, their visualization powers will be increased, their decision making will increase. Like that, if I keep on saying, there are many benefits. Along with that, spiritual benefits are there. If it comes to emotional benefits, especially this intuition yoga helps to understand the emotions. Okay, it's not about the thoughts, it's about emotions. What kind of emotions other person is carrying about yourself. All those things that helps, especially when women presently there are many problems suffering with a girl child and all. So that girl child, if this learns, uh, the girl child can understand what emotions behind that person. If I am
Mm-hmm.
that girl is interacting with a person, so if she knows the intuition, she can easily understand what kind of emotions he is carrying.
Mm-hmm.
So that helps to be aware. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
at the same time, that helps to, if you are doing a business, that helps to what kind of emotions they're going through, then what solution I can give to that person.
Mm-hmm.
So intuition helps all the way. It helps for the students, it helps for the parents to understand the students, and it helps for the business person how to improve their business. So intuition yoga that helps. At the same time, I teach Yoga Nidra as well. Okay, I did teacher training in Yoga Nidra. At the same time, I take yoga teacher training classes for the people who want to be a yoga trainer. So along with that, now I am learning science of yoga, that giving scientific evidence for the each practice and how according to science what you have to practice. So this yoga science of yoga also I will teach. So along with the telekinesis, now I am started teaching now. So telekinesis nothing but with a thought, your thought have a power. Okay, with your thought you can move the objects. That is also I'm learning now. So at the same time, I have a technique to teach also,
Yeah.
especially when you're filled with more disturbed or anxious or more stressful, you can't do all those things. Again, that yoga helps for that. Okay, to make you calm. At the same time, your energy flows in one object, one
Mm-hmm.
straight line.
Mm-hmm.
Your energy is spreading all over the way so that you can't do one particular thing. Okay,
Yeah.
so if you're focused
Makes
on
sense.
one thing, then your energy is channelized, then you can do wonders.
Yeah.
So that is what
Amazing.
telekinesis is. You're
Got it.
making that your complete energy to bring into one point.
Got
So
it.
that
Got
energy
it.
helps to move the objects.
Wow, that's
Okay. Yeah.
amazing. You're learning so many things and you're teaching so many things. Wow. And I have to say also that so my son, he started doing some intuition training with you, and
Yeah.
it was just so cool to see yesterday how like he was wearing this blindfold, and in the beginning, he was kind of all over the place, but then at some point, like he really, once he started concentrating, he was able to identify the correct colors of the little squares without seeing them while blindfolded. And I think he got like almost all of them right. And I was like,
Yeah.
oh, wow, this is really working. It's so cool. So there's something here that is effective. And if you guys are interested in learning from Suman in all of these different areas that he teaches, how can people contact you if they're interested in learning from you?
So I have my official website, Aadhyantha Academy. They can contact through that. Otherwise, you can go through aadhyantha@gmail.com.
Mhm.
So you can Aadhyantha Academy gmail.com. Otherwise, they can contact my WhatsApp number, that 9491. 9785809. All these three ways. I have my Instagram page. So where again, Aadyantha Academy Instagram page, you can reach out that page as well.
Amazing. And all of this information is also found in the show notes.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much, Suman. It's been really such a treat talking with you and learning from you. And I just think you have so much amazing wisdom and experience to share. And yeah, and I hope we can continue the conversation a different day.
Yeah, definitely. And today's topic, and thank you for this opportunity and to share my knowledge. I'm always happy to share my knowledge.
Mhm.
And my teachers always say that when you're holding your knowledge, you can't grow. Okay.
Mm,
So when you started sharing your knowledge, okay, you can gain more knowledge. If you
mm,
want to, if you
mhm,
want to learn more knowledge, then you should clean what you have already. You should share
mm,
it out what you have already. If you share it out, then you have a space to gain more knowledge. So I'm
mm.
always eager to share my knowledge, whatever I know. So I will make myself free so that I can receive some more extra knowledge from that divine.
Oh,
Okay. So this is
beautiful.
my principle. Okay.
Yes, what
So
a
very
beautiful,
happy to
yeah,
uh,
wow. What a beautiful closing. And it's kind of like, how do you know when you really have the knowledge is when you can teach something, then you really know you know the topic. So, so I love what you're saying about sharing the knowledge and creating more space for new incoming knowledge. Thank you so much, Suman, again. And was there any last final conclusions or loose ends that you wanted
nothing.
to
Yeah.
tie up?
The
Or
final conclusion, if I want to give, don't consider yoga as a religious thing or just for a particular person or particular religion, a particular culture or particular country. Okay, consider yoga as a body science and
mm,
mind science. Okay, so
mm,
then it gives you a and don't think about the terminologies, what it is there. Okay, see practices gives you results. At the same time, when it comes to the prayer, also chanting the prayers, don't see in terms of that related to one particular religion. Try to understand the meaning behind it, why we are chanting that prayer, what is the meaning about it, then convert into your own language. That is completely fine. And when you practice, if you want to give the name, then give your own name. That is completely fine. If you are related to particular religious problems and all, see in terms of science rather than particular religious or caste or uh, a culture thing. So then everybody in the world, always my teacher says, yoga is one of the best way to make all the world happy and healthy and love, filled with the love. With the yoga practice, you can achieve these three. Okay.
yes, I love that. So remember that happy, healthy, and love.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah. So
beautiful.
yoga is the best for these three things.
Yes, beautiful.
Okay, this is my conclusion. Practice yoga, be happy, be healthy, and filled with the love. Yeah,
Amazing, amazing. Thank you so much, Suman, for your time and for just the generosity of your sharing. I really enjoyed this conversation, and I hope that I'm sure that our listeners will too. And yeah, and I hope that you have a beautiful rest of your day. Thank you so
yeah.
much.
Thank you, Ruthie. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Namaste.